What's going on, MMA fans? I'm back to do my UFC 94 review video. I'm going to go over the fights, of course, I did predictions on. If you didn't have a chance to catch this event, make sure you go watch it. Very good event. I'm going to start off with the first fight of the night, Nate Diaz taking on Clay Guida. Both these guys came out. Nate Diaz really, throughout this fight, had the better combinations on the feet. Guida had a couple good jabs, a couple good combinations where he landed. He's always been an unorthodox striker. Definitely had the reach disadvantage in this fight as well. But Guida did a good job of pushing the pace, really taking Diaz out of his comfort zone. Had a couple good takedowns, had the back several times on Diaz. Actually tried to go for a couple rear naked choke attempts as well. Diaz also had a couple good spots in the clinch, which is where a lot of this fight took place. There's a lot of clinch work. He had a couple standing Kimura attempts. Tried to use them for sweeps, like a hip toss to throw over into side control. Every time he tried to execute it, he didn't follow through completely. Guida kept getting his back. Guida just really pushed the pace in this fight, was relentless, looked very, very good, and goes on to win a split decision. So congratulations to Clay Guida. Hopefully he comes back strong in his next fight. All right, on to the next fight. Dong-Hyun Kim taking on Karo Parisian. Both these guys really, really pushed the pace in this fight. They were both gassed later on in this fight. I'll get to that in a minute. But both these guys, very, very impressive. Dong-Hyun Kim looked very, very good in the first round. Took Karo down. Had his back. At one point in this fight, Hyun Kim had a DHK. Had a triangle attempt. Transitioned it to an arm bar. Couldn't get it. A lot of excuse me. a lot of clinch work took place in this fight. Back and forth, a lot of dirty boxing. Karo had some good combinations on his feet. DHK did as well, some good leg kicks. Karo really, really pushed DHK to the limit in the second. Into the second. Looked very good in the third. Both guys ended up getting gassed. Both these guys going back and forth in the clinch. Some combinations on the feet. Karo ended up getting this fight down. Actually had side control on DHK at one point. This fight goes to a decision, and the judges score it for a split for Karo. He looked very, very good in this fight, surprisingly. His mouthpiece kept popping out. I know Rosenthal kept warning him about that. Hopefully he comes back in his next fight with a little bit better cardio. He looked impressive in this fight. For DHK, hopefully in his next fight we see him look impressive. He needs to work a little bit more on his cardio once again, but looked very, very good in this fight. So congratulations to Karo. Hopefully he comes back stronger in his next fight. All right, on to the next fight. Stephan Bonnar taking on Jon Jones. Wow. It's funny, I was talking on the T.MMA Fix with Mark, the Miz 2003K about this fight. One of the things I said was that if Stephan Bonnar did not train properly for Greco, he would have some problems in this fight. And it looked like he brought the right kind of guys in. There was actually a video floating around on YouTube where he was doing some Muay Thai and some wrestling training with some Greco guys. But man, Bonnar, all that can be said about this fight was controlled on the feet, controlled on the ground. Jones had good clinch work, good Greco takedowns, just controlled Bonnar everywhere. The one beautiful thing in this fight that he did a spinning back elbow that hit Stephan in the side of the head, dropped him. It looked like the fight was going to be done. They kept showing this still of Joe Silva. And man, his face was just like this, like, oh my god, I can't believe that kid just did that. But this, Jon Jones is a kid with a lot of promise. He has a great base with Greco, which that's one of the things that in MMA, Greco is an awesome base to start out with. And this kid is definitely going to have a lot of potential. He's already looking really, really good, especially against a guy like Stephan Bonnar. Jon Jones goes on to win a unanimous decision. Really controlled this fight on the feet, controlled it on the ground. Stephan Bonnar had a couple good combinations, but for the most part, all Jon Jones. So congratulations to him. Hopefully he comes back strong in his next fight. All right, on to the next fight, the co-main event. Lyoto Machida taking on Thiago Silva. As expected, Thiago Silva came out, was very, very aggressive, tried to walk down Machida. Machida was really doing a good job of countering. Had some, good combinations. Trying to remember. He had a couple, good jabs. One where he kind of rocked Thiago a little bit. He was able to get Silva down to the ground. one point, it actually, I think it was off of a combination they threw that Thiago fell down. Machida followed him down to the ground, started trying to work some ground and pound. Right at the end of the first round, Thiago, goes down to the mat. Machida comes over with oh man, what was it? I think it was a right hand. He kind of just went like this, straight down, knocked Thiago Silva out. One more punch right as the buzzer was sounding. He landed, and Thiago was out. Yves Lavigne was kind of looking around, thinking that Thiago was going to get up, turned around and was like, that's it. And Lyoto Machida wins via knockout. Wow. If this doesn't propel him to a title shot, I don't know what will, but looked very, very impressive in this fight, had some good counters, was able to really, bait Silva in, and just was elusive as he always is, or evasive as Karsten says. So, looked very, very good, and, man, hopefully in his next fight, he either gets a title shot or gets a fight for the #1 contender spot. So, congratulations to him. All right, on to the main event, the fight that everyone has been waiting for, everyone's been talking about, and it was as interesting, as one-sided as it could be. George St. Pierre and BJ Penn. First round, both guys, a lot of clinching, which is something I thought would happen in this fight. I thought that these guys would probably end up clinching a lot, especially GSP. I think that one of the things he wanted to do a little bit more was a little bit more dirty boxing, try to work takedowns from the clinch. He did a very good job in this fight with that. He had good combinations on the feet. BJ had some good jabs, good combinations, but, man, really a lot of George St. Pierre. George St. Pierre working the dirty boxing, had good jabs, a good fake jab that he threw with the left, good 1-2 combinations he kept landing, got BJ down consistently throughout this fight. Really started doing the most damage in the third and the fourth rounds. Man, just passing BJ's guard at will, which is very, very surprising. It's something that you normally don't see with BJ Penn. St. Pierre was just inflicting a lot of damage. Body, head, body, just really eating BJ up. He had a nice another fake jab that he threw where he actually broke BJ's nose. I mean, he just really picked apart BJ, not only on the feet, even though BJ had some good combinations. I actually did have St. Pierre in a couple of the exchanges in the pocket, but St. Pierre just really dominated him on the ground. The third, the ground and pound really intensified. He had a couple takedowns. The fourth, more intensity, really, really a lot of work from side control for St. Pierre, just really hurting BJ. The round ends. The doctor comes over, looks at BJ. BJ's brother kind of looks over at the doctor and says, "Yo, that's it. You can't take anymore." And George St. Pierre wins via a fourth-round TKO doctor stoppage. Man, looked very, very impressive in this fight. Very impressive. Was able to really do a lot of good work inside of BJ's guard. Stayed busy, stayed smart, did not get caught in submissions, which is the thing that he needed to do the most. And he retains the welterweight title. GSP will go on to fight Thiago Alves, and BJ more than likely will go on to fight Kenny Florian. Those will both be great fights. But congratulations to GSP. He's proving why he's one of the top 5 pound-for-pound fighters in the world. And man, he looked very, very impressive. So, as always, check out my sponsors over here on the side. Real quick, just want to thank one of my sponsors, Clover Black, for hooking me up with a hoodie and a t-shirt. Thank you guys. But on that note, hope you guys enjoyed this event, and enjoy the Super Bowl tomorrow. And you guys, have a great day.